bloodlust in his eyes. This is no longer a child.
That's interesting to me. Haku says that due to the bloodlust in Naruto's eyes that he's no longer a child. The definition of child is right here. I think from Haku's perspective, a child bears no bloodlust and is innocent. As Kakashi stated earlier, Naruto and Sasuke lack the intent to kill. Haku asks if they are willing to walk the path of the shinobi as well. Now that Naruto is enraged, he's on that path. I love this scene. It's some Avatar state type stuff. Naruto is so much faster than Sasuke right now, but instead of dodging the Senbon, he thinks the attack just reflects on Haku.
Now! Impossible!
Look at the strength here too. I think the design of this form is amazing. Later on, Naruto develops a cloak and eventually tails as he uses more than 9 tails as chakra. To make it clear that Naruto is only using a fraction of the 9 tails, there is no chakra cloak. Only an enraged looking Naruto with red eyes. You don't need to see some sort of power aura around him right now, since you can tell just by his movements or his eyes that he isn't himself at the time.
Could it be? The seal has been broken? No, it's been loosened, and a glimmer of the 9-tailed fox's chakra has slipped through, but the seal still holds.
That's pretty crazy when you think about it. A glimmer of Kurama's power makes Naruto stronger than Kakashi, Zabuza, and Haku. Makes you think about what terror the Leaf villagers experiencing when they were trying to defend their village. Naturally, that would make people fear Naruto because of the potential for this to happen.
Just maybe. Zabuza, I don't mean to spoil your fun. I know how you like to stretch these things out. But how about we put an end to this now? Come on, what do you say? We're both busy people.
To my memory, Kakashi is one of the only people to summon animals using a scroll. I also like how they added the jutsu is used sound effect so the viewer knows he isn't just wiping his blood on some paper and twirling it around. Okay, so I know the mask cracks and breaks off, but that mask is way too durable. Naruto had the strength to punch straight through the mirrors and even just punch Haku through the mirror, and the mask held up. Haku's body somehow managed to hold up as well. You'd think he'd be pretty mangled from flying through the mirror.
Master, I have failed.
I kind of expected this. Naruto was insanely bloodlusted, but the moment he realized who he was fighting, he couldn't kill him.
To show mercy to those who oppose the one you serve. To allow his enemies to live when you could strike them down. This is not compassion. It is a betrayal of your life's very purpose. For what reason do you exist then?
This fight really got philosophical, and I like that turn. The fight very well could have ended with Naruto punching Haku's face off. Instead, the two stopped to discuss ideals. And I know that wasn't Haku's whole spiel, but I still disagree with his sentiment. Striking everyone down that has done something wrong to you doesn't show compassion, nor is it a betrayal not to.
Our life was hard, but we were content. My parents were good to each other and kind to me. Yes, we were happy once, but then everything changed.
When the Fire Nation attacked.
Oh shoot, wrong show.
It was my father who changed. He killed my mother and he almost killed me.
Man, that's tough. Haku's backstory is so tragic. In a way, it's similar to what happened to the Uchiha.
After years of suffering the horrors of civil war, the people of my land had come to fear and hate anyone who carried the Kekkei Genkai in their blood.
They just used them. They made enemies out of friends for no reason other than fear.
Mama, look what I can do. See what I made? See? Isn't it beautiful?
No! You must never! My father had seen, And so he knew our secret, my mother's and mine.
That's so horrible. Haku's mother and father got along so well. They got married, they had a child, and the moment he sees they can use jutsu, he immediately gathers the town members to go kill his family. That just sounds like a cult to me, man. From such a young age, Haku's life went from perfect to absolutely horrible. Luckily, he had his Kekkei Genkai to defend himself, though.
But I knew that something else had been taken from me. Something even more important. And that is when I truly despaired.
What?
My purpose. In all the world, there was no one who needed me. I was unnecessary.
Just like me!
Hey, not having a purpose, it ain't no joke. I understand where they're coming from. We gotta hint that Haku wasn't some evil overlord or anything like that early on. Like, given Haku's backstory, he very well could have been a protagonist as well.
You see, it is only through the eyes of others that our little lives have any significance. When there is no one who sees you or will even look at you, it's as if you do not exist. Then Zabuza came along and looked at me, and his eyes were not full of hate or fear. He did not shun me for my strangeness.
Hey, that's facts too. People like to say, it's what you think, not everyone else. But when it comes down to it, that ain't it. Why Haku follows Zabuza makes sense now. He was the only person who didn't just hate him. He also gave him a purpose.
Will you serve me and submit to my will in all things? Let us go then.
It might just be me, but Zabuza doesn't seem like he's a monster in these flashbacks. He found Haku and said, hey, you just want to sit there and die, or do you want to join my cause? And Haku said, hey, bet, let's get it.
I realized if I couldn't see you, I'd have to smell you out. When you attacked me, I let you get past my guard. I wanted you to cut me. You see, it's the smell of my blood on your blade that led them to you. Surprised? Looks like I wasn't the only one who was blind.
Oh man, the outplay was real. It did seem rather foolish of Kakashi to take those blows, but it all worked out in the end thanks to the ninja doggos.
There was the failed Mizukage assassination and your attempted coup d'etat. You were forced to flee with the few followers you had. Now you're crazy enough to want to go back and try it again. But for that you need money, and to get it, you've stooped so low as to be the hired thug of a swine like Gato.
And that's what Zabuza was doing. He was originally forced to flee alongside Haku. The two trained up, and now he's working on returning to take back his village.
All right, Zabuza, enough talk. Time to finish it. But it won't be with Sharingan, imitations of some other ninja's tricks. No, it's time I introduced you to my own jutsu.
This is the first time Kakashi has used his own jutsu. He created the lightning blade himself when he was a child. Interesting enough, he wouldn't be able to use it if he didn't have the Sharingan.
Chakra is so strong it's visible! He holds it in his hand!
Seeing chakra sent shivers down Haku and Zabuza's spine shows how rare it is for raw chakra to be seen. Said it once, I'm gonna say it again. Zabuza ain't a rock. Changed my mind.
But now, my usefulness is over, the only thing that gave my life meaning.
Hey, Haku, I know that feeling all too well. It ain't no stranger to me. In my opinion, that is the absolute worst feeling one can go through.
Go on, Naruto. Do it. For both of our sakes. Do it.
Do it!
A lot happened in this episode, man. Emotions all over the place. I'm glad the fight ended with Naruto v Haku versus Sasuke v Haku. If it were Sasuke who won, he likely just would have one-tapped him and called it a day. But Naruto isn't like that. We got to learn more about Haku and his final moments alive, and Naruto got to get some character development. The fight between Kakashi and Zabuza was definitely more of a background fight. The first time around, they were definitely the main focus. This time around, Zabuza is more distracting Kakashi so Naruto and Sasuke could have their time in the limelight. If you like the content, Rasengan, the like and subscribe button for more. Ninja art and the video jutsu.